Welcome to the Sauce Pod.
Welcome back to the Sauce Pod, you guys. It is another insane week in the tech and social media front. If you're a creator here joining us for the first time or for the dozenth time, this is our 22nd episode. Can you believe that, Anna? We've had 22 episodes already. And we are at it every week, creating more for you guys, giving you the rundown on the latest news, trends, stuff that creators need to know to make your life a little bit easier as you're marketing and content creating your way through the digital world. So welcome. I'm Taylor, your host of the Sauce Pod. I've got Anna, my co-host and editor of the Sauce newsletter, the sauceffs.substack.com. That's where we post our weekly newsletters. So go check us out and subscribe there. We've also got premium content being put up there on the site as well for our premium subscribers. And you can find us wherever you stream your podcasts. So Spotify or Apple or on our website. We're also up on YouTube if you fancy seeing our faces as we stumble through the news that creators need to know. But that is the rundown. So let's get on to the news this week. We've got quite a mixed bag of things to talk about. We're going to be talking about the big picture. One of the big picture things that I wanted to zoom in on a little bit this week is like the fact that we're just calling everything AI at this point, right? So like in this week's newsletter, inspired by something that you sent my way when we were drafting the newsletter, Anna, which is the Axios report on like everything is AI nowadays. Like if it has any semblance of machine learning or pattern recognition or automation, it's AI. And, you know, there's obviously like a big investment bubble that's happening in Silicon Valley right now. There's like a mad dash to capitalize on artificial intelligence and all that it entails, but it kind of begs the question of like, what really is AI if we're just calling everything AI? Because nowadays it's like this de facto label that we're applying, that companies are applying to anything that moves, and they're basically like, hey, we have AI on our window front, so like we're innovative now. That's
I feel like they do that too to get investors. Like the second they say we have AI, investors like, oh, what? Here's money. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I think that AI is in its .com era right now, or the .com bubble, I should say, where, you know, there's a lot of rush to capitalize, a lot of inflated expectations and hype, and of course there's a ton of like social speculation, just like we're doing right now. We're literally contributing to the social speculation of AI. But usually those things really, you know, end up leading to like kind of a harsh reality check, either in the form of market crashes to the bubble just bursting and people realizing that the expectations were off to begin with. And I think also that like AI is not going to need a label forever. It's going to be pretty soon where AI is just kind of ingrained. It's a part of every computer-based process that we all experience at any point in time. It's going to be as commonplace of like having a refrigerator in your house. Like you're not going to ask, do you have electric refrigeration? Like everyone does. It's just a standard nowadays. And I think that's where we're going to go with AI. And I know I'm rambling, but I'm just trying to get through this and I'll cut it all together so that it makes sense. But quick history lesson, if you didn't know, back in the 1950s, artificial intelligence, AI, actually meant trying to duplicate human reasoning in code, like code-based programming. And then like 20 years ago, I guess in the early 2000s, the industry switched it up to mean AI meaning an efficient pattern matching on a large scale, which still is like pretty vague. And that leaves a lot of room for everyone and anyone to slap AI on their product and call it a thing. In fact, it's pretty easy now to create an AI product. You just have to add a little dash of machine learning, sprinkle in some pattern recognition, automate a process, get the OpenAI API access and plug it into some sort of a graphical user interface, and suddenly you've got yourself an AI product. That's what a lot of these brands are doing, these startups are doing these days. So the bottom line is that like when you strip it all down, these products are kind of coming out of Silicon Valley in a way that seems very novel, but it's technology that in a lot of ways we're kind of already familiar with. It's now just being packaged up and branded in this nice, neat pretty way that's like very shiny to everyone who looks at it. One of the AI critics in the story that you shared that's also linked in the newsletter is that like once you use AI, it starts to feel mundane. It feels like you're using every other technology. Not to say that the novelty of it has like worn off. It's just, you know, the lesson is that just because it has AI doesn't mean that it should like shift necessarily like the way that you approach and think about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. The next time you see AI powered, take it with a grain of salt. Understand that AI, anything using AI is a tool, just like anything else, just like literally a toaster or a waffle maker or your refrigerator that has electricity. I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm just like going down this route of let's talk about food things. But the bottom line is it's not about the tech itself. It's about how you use it. It's a tool. So just something to keep in mind right before we kick into our full AI scoop. And before we even do that, by the way, we've got a new website at the Sauce. Have you seen it yet, Anna?
I saw it. I was like, I love it. I love the, I don't know, I'm going to call it like the profile section with all of us like stacked on top, like behind each other. It looks
cute,
so
right?
fun. Yes. No, I love the entire thing. Oh, and the computer scroll within the image. Yes. That one's cool too.
Yes, we had to have it. Yeah, you guys. So we did a quick and dirty website update for the Sauce. So if you head over to the sauce.foodfightstudios.com, you can see what we've been up to. Our latest rendition of the site is just a little bit cleaner, easier to navigate. And because we put a lot of our content, actually probably like 95% of our content is on Substack. The rest is probably on YouTube and podcast platforms. That is why we have decided to lean fully into Substack and really just make our home website just kind of a landing spot for people to figure out who we are and to find what you're looking for. But ultimately, all roads lead to our newsletter. So find us there. We're also getting ready to tease out. Well, we're also getting ready to launch something exciting that's coming down the pipeline for the Sauce. So anyone who's been tagging along or watching what we've been doing at the Sauce, definitely keep an eye out. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be making some big announcements for something that we've been pulling together over the last several months and probably even longer than that. It's like a compendium of all of our knowledge. It's our most premium offering yet, and it is a blanket one price. You pay one price and you get access to all of the premium content and everything. We're also going to be doing a cohort-based experience alongside that when we launch it. So keep an eye out. And you can also hit me up on Twitter if you're interested in beta testing it. So let me know. Now that we've got all that out of the way, including my very dismal take on what the fuck AI is, let's get into the actual news, starting with, we were just talking about this, Anna, MidJourney has dropped version 5.2. It is the latest update in MidJourney's image generation, AI-based image generation algorithm model. So it is now publicly available and it's the default model. And again, remember that if you're using MidJourney, you have to access it through Discord. As of right now, there's tons of other options, but for MidJourney, it's Discord and you can access version 5.2 automatically. It's enabled. You can hit your settings, open your settings and change whatever base model version that you want to use, but 5.2 is the default. So the new things that are different, by the way, this just launched end of last week, maybe the week before. So what's different between this new version 5.2 and previous models is that there's a new aesthetic system. So whatever that means, images just look better. They're more aesthetically pleasing. They're cleaner, sharper. They have more diversity. That's been a big complaint for a lot of MidJourney users, is that why is everybody white? So now there's more diversity. There's also a fixed stylized command. So really, unless you're a power user, that doesn't really mean much, but you can have a stronger effect on your stylization of your images that you're generating. Higher variation mode, meaning that when you generate images, you can get more variation between the four that show up. There's a new shorten command, which I didn't even tell you about this, Anna, but this one's awesome. You just type /shorten, and then you paste in the prompt that you want to use, and it tells you if there's unnecessary words or like if there's stuff that doesn't have like bear any weight for the algorithm. If it's like, okay, you're using all these extra words and none of them matter for the prompt, it'll highlight those words and tell you, and then it'll tell you a new prompt that you can shorten it with. So that's kind of nice. Yeah. Especially when you see like, I don't know, I'm always like on Twitter and Discord and I see these people who have like paragraph long prompts for some of this stuff. Like, I'm not doing that, but good try. So be interesting to like take somebody's like prized, generation.
Oh no.
2 paragraphs and then shorten it and see what you get out of it because,
3
I'm
words
sure that
cause
words
chaos.
Yeah, exactly. There's also this zoom out feature, which upscales, and this is kind of the biggest one that competes or is kind of a direct address to what Photoshop is doing with their generative fill. So the zoom out feature upscales your image by zooming out of it as an option. So you can also convert your image to a square or a different aspect ratio. You can do a customizable zoom. So like if you were to generate an image, say, of like a woman's face like on a street somewhere, and it's just like a portrait, you can then zoom out to see like maybe like a full body shot. And then you can zoom out even more to like see the full street that she's standing on. So in the same vein as being able to add additional like context and imagery to the image that you're attempting to generate, MidJourney is making that possible now with this zoom out feature. It's pretty cool. Still not my favorite. I still have been using Photoshop for quite a bit of stuff, but it's a good one. It's a good one. So that is MidJourney. And then the next update is, okay, so Dropbox. Did you put this one in here?
No, I think you did, but I found it really interesting.
Yes.
I just think it's hilarious because the amount of times I have heard John be like, okay, where the fuck is it? And us spend like 30 minutes sitting in Dropbox trying to find it and then nobody finding it. Like randomly showing up 3 days later, like on your home page.
When you're not looking for it. I know.
Yeah.
Dropbox is this like unholy disaster that
Yeah.
it sounds so promising and so beautiful in theory. And like I've been in demos where the Dropbox team is like, we're going to revolutionize the way that your team, manages assets. And you're like, yes, I see the future. And then you have Dropbox for like a couple weeks. You're like, this is actually terrible. It's a black hole. And it's notorious for turning your digital footprint into this black hole where you can never find anything. But Dropbox says that they want to change that. They want to rescue us all from our file chaos. So like, thank fucking God that they realize that this is a problem. That's all I have to say. They're going to be introducing a couple new AI powered tools to help make finding stuff easier. They're going to be dropping this literally Dropbox AI, which I think is just integrated into their standard like Dropbox experience. It summarizes your queries for documents. And then the other product is called Dropbox Dash, and that promises to be this like universal search engine that digs into your files. It can answer like queries. So for example, I was doing some digging to see how people are using it, and like say you have contracts like client contracts or like RFPs or like campaign stuff, you can type in like when does this expire, or like who was the signing producer on this project, or whatever it is. You can actually query those things and it'll come back with the response after it like reads through that. Dropbox says that they are protecting people's privacy and that your files won't be sliced and diced for targeted ads, but we shall see about that. I hope not. I really hope not. But like that would be prime picking for ad targeting if I had to.
That would be such a. I feel like that would just be crossing the line a little bit.
Big time.
Yeah.
So, also side note, Dropbox is getting rid of the traditional folder system that we all love and hate, in favor of something they're calling stacks. Everything's a stack these days for some reason. Stacks are apparently an AI enhanced organizational feature that will apparently revolutionize the way you find stuff. Yeah. So it's like grouping together similar things that they think that the AI thinks that you want to access together. So anytime that like scares the shit out of me. It's fine.
Yeah. I feel like that's a loss of control that I'm not sure I'm ready to give over to AI.
Exactly. Well, and they've already kind of started doing some weird stuff like that too, with like automatically filtering and categorizing like your file names, and like they allow you to like bulk change stuff using AI, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. I'm not ready for it yet because I feel like Dropbox's base product is still very buggy.
Yeah.
So so anyways, if you guys want to use it, the tools, the AI tools in Dropbox are actually available to all pro customers. I just really hope that this cleans up the Dropbox mess, because I'm like, like you said, Anna, every time we go into it, Jonathan's like, this thing is a fucking mess. Like,
Yeah.
I know, everyone hates it. So
Don't blame us.
come through. This would be an update that like creators should actually embrace, especially if you work with like video and all your content, you're storing it anywhere except for like Google Drive. Like Dropbox touches a lot of places. A lot of people use it to transfer and store their assets. So this would be an awesome update if it actually like pulls through. So here's hoping. Tell me about Vimeo. What is going on with these new AI features with Vimeo?
So I'm confused. Is this actually writing scripts for your videos that you're going to upload into Vimeo? Because Vimeo is really just a video hosting and sharing platform. Like, you don't really go to Vimeo to create a video. But I guess it's looking like Vimeo is also trying to become a script generator, which is kind of interesting, seeing as, they're really just I feel like they're lower on the bar than YouTube. It's just to host and maybe be more private in the way that you're linking out to these videos. But it looks like they are launching 3 new AI-powered tools. So one's a script generator, very similar to like your text, like ChatGPT. Ask Vimeo to kind of build out a script for you. They have like a tone you can choose, like confident, inspiring, or funny. And then the second one is a built-in teleprompter that will display that generated script. So I guess you can kind of, pop it up on your computer screen and then set up your video and, make it easier for you to kind of read off of it and deliver your lines. And then it looks like they're also launching an editing tool that will remove like filler words and the that I just said and awkward pauses and improve your quality of video. I just find this one interesting coming from Vimeo. I don't think I would expect it from them.
Same. Like, who's using Vimeo?
I've never thought of Vimeo as a video editor tool, like ever.
No. They have had some like trim features where you can easily like trim and like maybe remove parts, remove clips or cut from your video a little bit. But no, I think that like Vimeo is primarily used by like gated content creators, like, clubs or memberships, or I don't know, like high resolution, like filmmakers that need high res capabilities because YouTube just doesn't always cut it. And I think the privacy thing, to your point, but it is interesting that like Vimeo is taking notes on what creators want, and especially the fact that this update is aimed at like entry-level video creators, like CEOs. They listed CEOs as like their ideal user for this because they're aimed at people who lack the skills, time, and resources to achieve, the effects that they want to achieve, which would take a lot longer of manual labor of editing. So like CEOs, employees, social media managers, people that are like, fuck it, I'll just do it myself and edit it. That's who this tool is for on Vimeo. And you can access it, I guess, starting late July or starting in July. And it's part of Vimeo's standard plan, apparently, which is, I think, $20 a month. $20 a month if billed annually. So, yeah. AI is touching everything, you guys. It's happening. Oh, this was yours. The Mad Men are getting an AI boost. I just changed it because it's about ad agency. It's the Omnicom, which sounds like a super villain, honestly.
It does.
The Omnicom group getting AI tools.
Yeah, they've kind of built it into their like stack for their employees to use.
Yeah. So I guess it's like a tool that uses Microsoft tech, which is probably uses like, some of the language models that it's built on there. And they're launching their first generative AI tool. It looks like it's going to include things like planning, campaign insights, ad targeting. Like there's a whole dashboard of stuff that you can pull from.
Yeah, it's built on top of the company's Omni platform. They're calling it like Omni Assist. I guess it's kind of in beta right now. So they're embracing AI, pretty
amazing.
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. And I guess it's gonna make their jobs easier as far as like they can ask it questions based off of whatever the dashboard is built out on. We don't have a whole bunch of info on it right now because it's obviously their tool and it's not public, but it is cool to see like an ad agency build out a tool for just their employees based off of their already existing platform.
Yes.
Like, I want my boss to give me a whole tool like that
Give me
already
a
knows
tool
everything about my
suite.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No.
Oh my God, can you
Yeah.
imagine? This is how AI replaces us, you guys.
Yeah, I should have said that. I was just kidding. Yeah, so this story is about the Omnicom group debuting like this new tool using AI for their employees. So it's not a public tool, but
Yeah.
it is a cool tool.
Ad agency people, this one is for you, the madmen. We don't even need Don Draper anymore because now all of the AIs can just write compelling, persuasive product and campaign pitches in the smooth and sultry voice of Don Draper. Which, if you've never watched Mad Men, Anna, you need to watch it. It's so
I just wrote it
good.
down to write it.
Please watch it. It's so good. It's one of my. I'm actually gonna rewatch it soon. I told Rick the other night. I was like, Mad Men is on the list for a recycle because I need that like sleazy Don Draper energy. It's great, especially if you're a creator or a creative person. Tell me about this AI versus generated brand content. What did we call it? ADAR? Your AI dar.
Yeah, I was calling it a AI dar. I thought it was funny. Basically, it's just a quiz built out by frontify.com. You basically scroll through a bunch of images and try to identify whether or not it's a real image or if it was AI generated. I actually haven't gone through the whole thing. It's probably like it's 10 or 15 photos. I'm kind of scared to hit. I'm scared to hit submit because I feel like I'm going to have all of them wrong.
Yeah.
But the Nike Ben and Jerry shoe is pretty dope and I would wear it. I don't know if
The
you saw
Ziploc
it.
Supreme bags, 100%. And the baby Louis Vuitton suitcase, that's totally AI. Has to be. These are really entertaining.
But it's very cute.
Guys, it's hard to tell, especially if you're a brand person. You need to go take this quiz because if you think that brand photos can't be touched by AI, honey, you are wrong. Because I can't tell the difference between some of this shit. But maybe you can. Go check it out. Oh, OpenAI's App Store for AI. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, is basically planning to launch a marketplace where developers can sell the AI models that they've built, like on top of OpenAI's tech, within kind of like an app store. Or if you've ever used Notion and you go into Notion's like templates, people are able to like sell their templates that are built off of Notion's existing dashboard. So that's kind of what OpenAI is looking to do.
It's like a marketplace.
Yeah, and it's making OpenAI's technology definitely like more accessible to people who either don't have the time to build a whole AI model out or just don't know how. I don't know. I think it's really cool, but it's definitely going to make it's definitely going to make everybody's AI a little bit smarter, a little bit faster than it is now.
Well, now it's like we can prepare for everyone, all the like guru bros to be like, go get my AI app for $199, get it for 50% off. Like,
right.
you can imagine all of the people, because this is the same thing that people do with like Notion or Figma or whatever. Like, I just threw up 10 templates into Gumroad, go download them. Right now you can get them for 90% off, but tomorrow they're full price. So it's coming. But it does mean more. I think that more opportunity and more creativity can come out of a time when people are actually like able to help, start to monetize some of their AI creations, their plugins and tools that use OpenAI's API. Interesting stuff, nonetheless. All right, let's get into social news, starting with how much do you love this image of
so much.
our little boys fighting it out in the
But
ring?
we also know Elon isn't that in shape.
No. Well, if you look closely, it kind of looks like both of them. It kind of looks like both of them are Mark, but also both of them could also be Elon Musk. It's like those optical illusions where you like see it from two angles and they both look like a woman, but they also both look like a man. Not in this, but in the illusion. Yeah, it's like from some angles it definitely looks like Elon, but so talk me through this drama, because It's been all over the news. Like, this is like, I feel like we often talk shit about, you know, Twitter, and we find all these like weird little stories, like the fact that they're getting kicked out of their lease and they're getting evicted, and they have all these people suing them, and like, you know, Elon's trying to build a toilet in his office, and all these like funny, weird stories. But this is one that has totally stormed the headlines over the last week.
Oh
So
yeah,
tell me
it's
about
all
it.
I've seen everywhere. So basically, Elon tweeted that he'd be up for a cage match against Zuck, which I don't know how long he's been doing it, but Zuckerberg has gotten pretty good at jujitsu, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's
Yeah, he's like
jujitsu.
ripped now.
Yeah. So he's been doing his thing. He's been just chilling, learning how to beat some people up. So Elon's like, yeah, I'd be up for a cage match and probably win. So I guess Zuck agreed to take him up on the offer. And I guess Zuckerberg's reply was like not a joke. A Meta spokesperson confirmed that he wasn't joking. Like they're serious about just punching each other or
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
he like
Yeah,
confirmed on Instagram, right? He was like, yeah,
right.
I'm down.
Yeah, exactly. So of course this has been all over the headlines. Everybody's talking about it. I've seen so many like different, I guess I would call them like health enthusiasts on Instagram being like, well, so and so has 30% chance of winning because of blah blah. And Zuck has,
Like the speculation has begun. The
yes,
bets
and
are already
everybody,
out.
yes. And then, of course, Elon's mom steps in and she's like, hi, guys. Can we maybe, not fight? Is basically what her tweet says on
Oh
Twitter,
my
which I
god.
think is so cute. She's
Oh
like,
my god.
fight. She's basically like, fight with words only, 4 feet apart. Funniest person wins with like a smiley face, which I think is so cute.
Aw.
And I guess sports books gave Zuck an 83% chance of winning, like officially. So if they're actually
Damn.
gonna go for the fight, Elon's probably not gonna win unless he's like hired a personal trainer and is getting to work, which could be cool.
Yeah, no, no.
Um,
Our bets are on Zuck this time around, which I never thought I would say that. Zuckerberg is also a robot, if you guys didn't know, so it's likely
yeah,
that he would be able to overpower Elon Musk, who is pretty near robot himself, just a little bit off still. I also was reading that Dana White, who's the UFC president, she was telling TMZ that this fight, like, I love the speculation on this. Like, if the fight actually happened, if it came to fruition, it could bring in over $1 billion from pay-per-view if they do the fight in Las Vegas.
it's insane.
What? Literally, you cannot make this shit up. I feel like only in this era, this time and age would something like this happen. And like, in all seriousness, Meta being like, yeah, he was telling the truth, you guys. This is real. This is news.
Right?
What?
Everyone's just like, oh my god.
We're obviously going to keep tabs on this one because
Of
it is
course.
a hot story. We will let you know if the fight happens. We will be placing bets.
Taylor, if the fight happens, we need to go there live. Like we need to be wherever it is.
We need to
just
be there
have to.
reporting on the ground,
Yeah.
backstage passes. We need to interview them both. Like, get us into the
Exactly.
newsroom. We're ready for it. Oh, news. Speaking of Meta, I heard, and you have heard too because you wrote this, that news is being cut off in Canada right now on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, so their government passed a law that basically forces tech companies to pay fees for using domestic media content to like showcase news. So Facebook and Instagram are just not going to allow news on their platform at all, which I don't know how it works exactly to block, all of that info from going over there, but I'm sure they have it all figured out. So they've decided to basically put a stop to any news content availability in Canada. And this isn't the first time that Meta has had to do this. Australia passed like a similar law recently. I guess Meta in Australia ended up striking a deal, but Meta initially had to block news. And then California is also looking at a similar proposal of blocking news off of platforms like this. So, which I don't exactly love.
You don't love? Oh my God, I would be so down if Facebook just axed news in the US. Like, finally, I won't have to hear from my crazy family members being like, sending me something in my DM or in my like Facebook Messenger, like, did you read this? And it's like some sensational headline from like the Daily UK or whatever. What is the like really awful one in the UK? The UK Daily is one of those like horrible tabloids. Either way, like I feel like misinformation could be drastically cut down, especially knowing that the elections are, what are we, a year out from the elections? So I wouldn't say I think it's the worst idea. Obviously, it's not going to bar people from posting links. People can share news links and things like that. It's just that they would be getting rid of the news tab on like Facebook and on. I didn't realize Instagram had a news tab. Is that a thing?
It does? I don't think so. I don't think that's the thing.
Anyways, so that's the story. Facebook could soon axe news in the United States, but we know that they're doing it in Canada now. So if you're accessing Facebook from Canada, you will no longer have the news option until further notice. On the TikTok front, this is big news. Tell me about what's happening with e-commerce and shopping on TikTok.
Yeah, so we've talked about this before, but it's been kind of like in beta testing up until now. I think only like a couple creators had access to it, but they're expanding access to their e-commerce program and basically giving like all US like retailers that are on TikTok the option to basically introduce like a streamlined shopping experience within the app. So instead of seeing a product that you like, you know, from Sephora, I'm just going to use them as an example. I have no idea if they're actually using this, but instead of like seeing the product and then having to click into the link and go over to Sephora's app, you'd be able to actually purchase the product directly within the app and leave a product review and, you know, just basically turning TikTok like into a shopping thing, which I feel like is so dangerous, especially for me because I follow like all of these Amazon girlies who post like their Amazon affiliate link over. And I know it wouldn't work like that with Amazon directly, but I'm always like, ooh, look, a new thing I can buy.
Yeah.
And if it's like 3 clicks within TikTok, I feel like that's just too easy.
Yes.
But it's expanding access. So if you're a retailer, I would definitely check it out.
Well, it's also interesting in the wake of knowing how like Instagram, which was really gung-ho and all in on shopping for like a couple years, finally pulled the plug. Was it like earlier this year on like the shop tab and shop features, some of the shop features and in-app shopping on their app, just probably for who knows what reason other than it wasn't getting the traction and maybe it was too expensive for Instagram to maintain. But like, so for Instagram to like pull the plug on that, and then TikTok is over here like, we're going full on with like e-com and in-app shopping, which is kind of, I think, a big deal. It's definitely a signal that TikTok is in a healthy place with its business model right now, if it's putting investment behind expanding e-commerce capabilities on the app. And for retailers or for really any creators that are selling products, like this could be a great opportunity for you to have in-app shopping experiences with your audiences, your followers, whatever. Like if you're a creator who sells merch or who sells product or a small business and you could sell your product directly through the app, like that's kind of a win-win, no-brainer, especially if you're creating really good content to back it up. So it's kind of cool to see TikTok going in that direction, but we shall see if they end up making any like rollbacks on that like decision, or if Instagram, you better bet we're going to be watching Instagram to see like what their next move is.
Like, oh,
they're
wait.
gonna be like, oh, we're bringing it back. Never mind.
Yeah, they're like, look at our new shopping feature. Brand new, never seen before. We're
Never
like,
seen before. Exactly. Exactly. Bouncing back over to Twitter for a second.
Yeah, this was just a short little story.
Tell me.
No more reply all. So Elon, in his usual fashion of announcing the updates just on Twitter, like on his his profile, he
informing the
tweeted,
press, if you will.
yes, gaming replies to generate free advertising will result in account suspension. So basically, if you're engaging in trend jacking, or aka like replying to viral and popular tweets just to boost your engagement and exposure, you're going to face suspension.
Yes. Good.
So be careful on Twitter.
I mean, a lot of people do that too. It's like really annoying when I tweet something and then I get like, go here to get my free ebook, and they're like replying on my No, go
Right.
away. This is not your party. So I have to say, I can stand with it on that. LinkedIn is testing generative AI posts. So give me the tea on what's going on. We talked about this a few weeks back, how they were rolling in more and more AI capabilities into the platform. They had like the AI co-authored like articles or something like that, like some AI resume building stuff. So
Yeah.
what is the latest with AI posts?
Yeah, so basically they're building AI into their LinkedIn like share your ideas box, or where you go to click new post. AI will be built in there, basically be like an assistant that's kind of sitting there and help your first draft of your post. So some critics are like definitely raising their eyebrows because LinkedIn can already be a place of people just kind of like pretending to be, the know-it-alls that we like to pretend that we are as humans. And of course, there's people that are like, well, this could definitely turn LinkedIn into a playground for people to just like throw their AI crafted insights out into the universe. But we kind of see that on every platform everywhere. Yeah.
I mean, the AI stuff is already out there. There's going to be like people who think that they can just like game the system or rig the system because they now can create like thousands of AI generated articles and content. It doesn't mean it's good, you guys. And you see this now. I was hearing from somebody on Twitter this week that's like, I subscribe to a bunch of people on Twitter and guess what? They're all shit behind the paywall. And I'm like, well, ding, ding, ding. They're probably using AI to just like churn out posts. It's the same on LinkedIn. It's the same on every platform, you guys, where this technology has made it so easy and accessible to literally not have to even lift a finger to do anything to create content and put it out there. It doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean that it's truthful or accurate or even sound advice or information. So take it with a grain of salt. But it also could mean that it could be something to help you as a tool to make better posts. So like if you're like me who just fucking hates LinkedIn and refuses to go near it, something like this would probably make it easier for me to like draft some thoughts rather than having to like bounce between LinkedIn and ChatGPT and all of that. So we'll see, you guys. We'll let you know. I'm sure that we're about to hit a wave of like, don't trust the LinkedIn AI bros, probably all over LinkedIn. Here's 10 ways the LinkedIn AI bros
Which is already right, which is already happening. Which is everyone's like making fun of everyone for posting their like, here's my 10 top tips of how to use AI and how to like make ChatGPT your slave. And then everyone's like making fun of that while using AI to make fun. Anyways, it's just like a whole little circle.
Well, remember back to what I said at the beginning of this chat, like AI truly is everywhere, and just because it has AI on it doesn't make it good content, doesn't make it a good tool or a good program or software. Like you always still have to do your own research. And like we are in this crazy investment bubble where even the creators who are just trying to go viral like understand the hype that comes with AI. And so of course they're trying to capitalize and take advantage of it. The key at this point is knowing how to stand out, how to lend some unique perspective and to do it a little bit differently using your own experiences. I think that's the key, but I digress. Anyways, Anna, that's all we have to cover this week. We powered through it. I know we're going to have a lot more next week, but
check out in the sauce snippets in the newsletter, check out the Dream Keeper. This little tool is so or dreamy, even though it's so cheesy. It's so cool. You basically type in what you dreamed the night before and it generates it in AI. Just the build out and the UI and things surrounding it is so cool. So check that out. Just for like some fun relaxing AI time instead of all the
I like that. I'm gonna check it out.
And turn your volume up too. It's very like I feel like this is something you could like wake up at 2 a.m. with your dream and just sit there and turn it on. And
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love it, you guys. There's so many cool things that people are making with AI. So if you ever spot anything out there and you're like, I don't know who to tell about this because it's really cool, but it doesn't fit into anything, tell us. Tell us.
We will try it out.
We want to know. All right. We will be back at it next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Sauce Pod. Hope you enjoyed yourself, maybe even learned a thing or two. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also subscribe to our newsletter that goes out every Monday night. All of the latest and greatest tips, news, and trends for content creators and digital entrepreneurs. Until next time, stay saucy.